Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bruce Blonigan. I'm the Edward Miletus Dean of the Lundquist College of Business, and I'm very pleased to be here and to celebrate this special moment with our Sports Product Management degree recipients, 2023, and their family and friends and our faculty and staff. Yeah, let's give them a round of applause. All right. Over the years, I've learned that you cannot have too many times where you can applaud the graduates, so we'll start off well. I was fortunate to participate in one of the Sports Product Management's first convocations in the fall of 2016 when I served as interim dean in a prior position here at the Lundquist College of Business about 6 years ago. And at that time, I was amazed to learn about this new, one-of-a-kind, very elite master's program offered by our business college. I was even more amazed at the diversity of the students who are starting the program from different cultural backgrounds to a wide range of prior occupational experiences, which we continue to see in the program, including these graduates here today. The University of Oregon and Lundquist College of Business is extremely proud of the Sports Product Management program and its graduates. It embodies all the qualities that we aspire to as Ducks. It pairs a strong blend of academic rigor with practical experience. It brings together a group of elite students with amazing diversity of backgrounds. It's innovative and demands that its students take risks. It understands the value of collaborative teamwork and puts that at the core of learning. And finally, it launches you into exciting and productive careers. So, while it's a special day for all the graduates and their family and friends, love to see you all here, it's also really an affirming event for we faculty and staff. Seeing your success inspires us to continue our work to deliver a world-class sports product management degree to future cohorts. And we're also excited to see you join a vibrant group of SPM alumni who we know will continue to be engaged in our program. I don't have donation envelopes on your chair yet, but as dean, they'll be coming, all right? Okay. So we are incredibly proud to have you now, I guess in maybe just an hour or two, be our alumni. So once a duck, always a duck. So congratulations again to graduates. We're very proud of you and honored for you to be here today. I'm honored to be here today to celebrate your success. So, congratulations. And with that, on with the show. I want to introduce to all of you our Executive Director of the Sports Product Management Program, who is also a co-founder of the program, Ellen Schmidt-Devlin.
How's it feel? Take a breath in, guys. You made it. You made it. 18 months. I'm sure some days it felt like 18 days and other times 18 years, right? But it was a journey. This group of graduates started when we were still in the midst of what we called the COVID-19 crisis. Anybody remember that? I don't know. They started face-to-face with us, a level of confidence that we were back. The university was back. Our professors were all ready to see you again face-to-face. And you came in as, I love Bruce's word, elite. You came in, 20% of you were athletes, Division I athletes. You came in from 6 different countries, counting the United States, and you came in as elite individuals. Immediately, we put you in these, what we call creation teams, right? And you loved your creation teams, and then you hated your creation teams, and then you loved them again. And you built excellence for your cohort. You also built excellence for the program. I can think about the number of meetings Esteban had with me telling me, Ellen, you can do better. And we did. And we learned from you, and you learned from us. When Dr. Roger Best, who was the other co-founder, and I created this program, we had no idea. I mean, the first graduates looked at us, in the convocation. Convocation is what you have at the beginning. And they all asked us the same question: are we going to be able to get jobs in the industry? And Dr. Best and I answered it with, we certainly hope so. But 96% of our graduates, and many of you, already have your jobs in the industry. The administration asked us, can you get faculty from the industry to teach? And will they continue to teach in the program? I'm going to make them stand up, because I think we all want to honor our faculty, 90% of them from the industry, many of them who have been with us since the beginning. A program is only as strong as the people that see the vision that's being created and can take it to the next level, and this faculty has done that. I also have the pleasure of introducing the people that we have on the stage. So Dr. Robin Clement is our academic director. Robin? I think many of you know Shelley Gourlay, who is our director of this program. Shelley? Professor John Eberly can go without an introduction. Tristan Norbert, who's in charge of our student services. And Pri Schumart, who will be your guest speaker today, your keynote speaker. So welcome, family, welcome, friends. You have invited the people, your people, to be with you here today. So let's get on with the show. Congratulations. And our next speaker will be the first student speaker. Owen McCarthy will be your first speaker.
Tassels messed up. Okay, everybody. Thank you all for coming. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. I'm going to kick it off here and try to set a good mood for the rest of the evening or the day, the comedy show. First, it is an honor to be asked by my classmates to speak at this ceremony. I did not want to speak today, and I considered declining, but after thinking about it, I realized that this is the least that I could do for you, classmates, in gratitude for all the support and love that you have given me these past 18 months. I want to welcome all the relatives, partners, and kids to the commencement ceremony. To any complete strangers, how did you get in here? To those attending virtually, I extend a warm welcome. Please turn your cameras on. Today we gather here to celebrate a momentous occasion, victory. It's always good to have a victory every now and then. Victory is a word that carries with it immense power and significance. It suggests image of horned helmets, heroic sagas, and Brad Pitt shirtless in Troy. Or maybe that's just me. Most of us are familiar with the feelings of defeat, especially if you are a Trailblazers fan. The feeling of disappointment that comes when we fall short of our goals, or worse yet, when we fall short of our own expectations. But today we are here, having overcome every obstacle that stood in our way. Each one of us applied and came to this program with the hope for a better future for ourselves and our loved ones. That is a distinctly human quality that we should be proud of. The initial spark set us on an 18-month battle that has culminated in this moment. I know the resilience, the grit, and the determination that is required to get through SPM. We scaled mountains of tents and crossed creeks of trash and needles on our ways to class. We endured the hawkish security officer's strict mask policies. We completed hours of intense group work and sustained ourselves on popcorners. We marched through the gloomy rain towards brighter days, but today is that brighter day. To me, victory is not just about winning. It is not simply a moment of triumph. It is a constant attitude of endurance through trials and tribulations. There are many small victories in our day, like taking all the groceries inside in one trip or opening a jar without any help. But today is a grander affair because we get to wear silky bathrobes and hats in public. Victory is about moving forward. We will all face different obstacles, setbacks, and tragedies. What sets us apart is our ability to keep pushing forward, no matter how difficult our current situation may seem. We have the power to choose how we respond. I know getting through this degree was a struggle for most of us. I'm mildly in shock myself that it is over. At the heart of it all, I realize that today it takes courage to feel victorious, because it is an acknowledgement of the grief for the things that we have had to sacrifice. Today represents the potential that lies within every one of us and the power of the human spirit to grow. If you aren't feeling victorious today, I hope you will reflect and allow yourself to, even if it doesn't look the way that you thought it would. In closing, let us raise our heads high and embrace the power of victory. Let us take moments to recognize the hard work and effort that brought us here, all through the support of our community, and let us look forward with hope and inspiration to the challenges that lie ahead. Thank you.
I'm short. Hi, everybody. My name is Alexis. Today, I'll be presenting the faculty award. So before we get this thing going, one, I'm not as funny as Owen, so sorry in advance. Two, speaking in front of people and keeping them engaged is not my true calling, so set your expectations accordingly. However, the person that I am introducing does have both of those qualities, and they made 2 hours of class every week, but 3 hours if Ellen asks. Feel like a breeze, so hopefully my next few minutes will feel pretty quick for you guys. I'm telling you, setting expectations immediately is really important. On the first day of this particular professor's class, I was not excited about the topic, so immediately I came to the quarter with low expectations for it. However, less than 10 minutes into the class, my feelings changed and my expectations were also adjusted. Basically, day one, he set the tone and maintained it for 10 weeks by doing 3 things. First, they made it clear that they never wanted to waste our time. They made it very clear that having a work-life balance is important. So they made sure that we ended class at a respectable time every week. Second, they encouraged all forms of participation since they knew that we were all interested in different things. And they made a forum for that in their class sessions by starting with sports news of all topics. Third, it's really random. The Shane Battier reference. They compared themselves to Shane Battier, literally the most random basketball comparison on the planet. But it made sense by the end of the quarter. Like they said, they weren't the loud stat sheet filler, or in the SPM academic case, the branding or development professor. They were the behind-the-scenes winner. They ultimately made a dry or not sexy topic fun and found different ways to communicate the lessons through things like paper plane competitions and weekly challenges to keep things engaging and keep us outside the box and keep thinking us outside the box. By week 10, they left a lasting impression on us and set the bar high for any professor that came after them. The professor who did all of that was Dave Kelly. Dave Kelly is important to us in the industry because he's a part of the change and amplifies voices that are typically not heard. Having a listening first mindset and hear everything that we want to say to him and to be so transparent about his own personal life inspired us to be like him and continue to set the standard. So why do we vote for Dave Kelly? As a cohort, correct me if I'm wrong, we all want to be seen and heard, point blank period, like Alan said. We're the cohort that's going to tell you what we like and what we don't like. Day one, we felt like we had a voice in Dave's class, and that meant everything. Next, the person that Dave Kelly is deserves to be acknowledged. He made sure that not only did he carry out the curriculum, but he tried to actually get to know each of us. He wanted to find a way for all of us to get something out of his class. And also, he literally told us to vote for him on the first day of class. I kid you not. You can go back and watch the recordings. We said that we would vote for him for best teacher if he told us why he spent a night in jail in Colorado. So now you literally have to tell us. You agreed. As you can all see now, day one, he made it clear that he wanted to be the fan favorite this year and he wanted to know how he could succeed. He said to us, "How can I be EBJ? And how can he make sure that we walk away from this class and say, that was awesome?" Ultimately, not only did he want to win this award, he really did, but he also wanted to set the clear expectations so we can get everything that we wanted from the class to launch our careers. Dave is that exact professor that you wish that you had throughout your academic career because he makes things relatable and he wants to understand you. That's all you really want as a student and just as a person. He empowered us at such an important time in our journeys, and that's why we're all grateful to him. So it is my honor to present this year's faculty award to the GOAT, Dave Kelly. Unfortunately, Dave is not here. But you're still the GOAT, Dave. Thank you.
Hi, all. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kate Gothing, and to my fellow classmates, congratulations. I'm so proud to be a part of this amazing group and see us all come so far within the program. If we've had the chance to work together over these last 18 months or just get to know each other, I've probably shared my goals with you at least once. I've always been inspired by others around me, and that's been shaping my path since I was little. Growing up, I was inspired to be independent, confident, and loyal by watching my mom navigate the world around her. I need you to look away now. I was driven to excel in school and learn new things and be open to new activities and places because of my brother. And my dad inspired me to learn how to do things by myself and also find the best and cheapest deal on literally everything. So thank you. As a little kid, I used to love writing short stories and coming up with new inventions, but I didn't know what to do with that. When I entered into high school, I learned that marketing and advertising were real jobs, and I was intrigued by how commercials can make you feel about a product and a brand. I started my career in advertising because of that, and for a short time, I felt motivated and creative, and I just loved the people around me, but I ultimately didn't feel like that was my passion, and I didn't see myself in that field forever. It was after about a year of 60-hour work weeks in a client service industry that I felt stuck, unmotivated, and unhappy. I was a year out of school, just stopped playing sports, and I didn't know my purpose. And then that went on for another 2 years because of COVID. When I came to SBM, I had big dreams and goals to enter into this industry and work for my dream company. First term, we had the legendary Notar and all of his guest speakers come and share their career paths. Then we had Greg Hoffman share his experience and influence us to build the best brand out there. During that term, I knew that I made the right decision to come here. And for the remaining terms, we had the opportunity to learn from some of the best in the industry and have access to some of the most talented people within their network. It's hard not to feel motivated and driven to be in this industry when you have such great guest speakers and people to look up to. But our instructors and guest speakers weren't the only ones I felt inspired by in this new chapter. I felt inspired by all of you, my fellow classmates and friends. We've all come from different backgrounds, states, schools, you name it, but we seem to gel pretty well together, which, thank God. I've been inspired by Esteban, the most friendly and welcoming person I've ever met. He also throws a great happy hour. Owen inspires me to keep an open mind to any idea, no matter how big or how small. Snelvin the snail will always be the testament to that. Nico inspired me to build a network with others within the industry, and that got me my job that I have today, and I can't thank him enough for it. And Gen inspires me to be the best friend possible, even if that means driving your friends to the airport at the crack of dawn so they don't have to take the MAX. Every single person in this room has inspired me in some way or another, whether you know it or not. And if you don't believe me, come find me later and I'll tell you exactly what it is. So thank you all for showing up and being open to getting to know me and everybody else in our cohort. All that being said, you can only be inspired so much. Sometimes we can block ourselves by thinking we don't have the skills, the knowledge, connections, confidence, whatever it may be. But just know that whatever you do, as long as it aligns with your core beliefs and values, will get you to exactly where you're meant to be. For those of you who listen to the podcast, Call Her Daddy, I'll leave you with a quote from one of the most recent episodes with Chelsea Handler. We all have a voice in our head that tells us we aren't good enough. But we have a real voice. We have another voice, the real voice, that knows you're valuable, lovable, and you bring something to the table. Listen to that voice. That voice is what got us here today, sitting in these seats, getting our masters, and entering into our dream industry. We are unstoppable. We have a network within our instructors and within all of us to support and lift each other. So let's use it. Inspire the sports product world and be there to influence the classes and the generations that come after us, because we are paving a way that may seem small, but can make a tremendous impact. I'm so proud of you all. Thank you.
It's said that before entering the sea, a river trembles with fear. She looks back at the path that she has traveled, from the peaks of the mountains, the long, winding roads crossing forests and villages, and in front of her, she sees an ocean so vast that to enter, there seems nothing more but to disappear forever. But there's no other way. The river cannot go back. Nobody can go back. To go back is impossible in existence. The river needs to take the risk of entering the ocean, because only then will the fear disappear. Because that's where the river will know that it's not about disappearing to the ocean, but of becoming the ocean. Khalil Gibran. Perhaps this is the best analogy for all of our journeys. When looking at the sports industry, a lot of us in this room felt as though we were that river, not knowing what the future would hold, but knowing that soon we'll be colliding with a dream that we've held close for years. Myself, like many others in this room, came into this program because I felt as though my life resembled a conveyor belt that began with the phrase, "Is this really what I want to do?" When I first joined the program, I had met someone who helped me materialize this dream. He had read my letter that I addressed to the school and told me that the journey ahead was going to be a difficult one, a special one, and that he'd be willing to help anywhere needed. Inspiration, wisdom, and guidance were three things that this person was never short of providing. And for that, I'm forever grateful. I'm humbled to introduce someone who has spent 40 plus years playing a pivotal role in guiding wide-eyed students to their dreams, like he had done for me. This person has paved the way for students to leave their so-called safe harbors and venture into their passions, essentially turning rivers into oceans. This individual is widely regarded as a pioneer in the field of marketing metrics. He has been awarded 16 teaching awards, including the AMA Distinguished Teacher of the Year, has more than 50 published articles, is author of several books, including Market-Based Research, which has over 6 different editions and used in over 100 countries, has taken several businesses to commercialization and eventually sold. And lastly, has worked with the likes of 3M, GE, HP, and Tektronix. So unfortunately, Dr. Roger Best isn't here today, but on his behalf, it's my honor and privilege to introduce the co-founder of SPM, Ellen Devlin Schmidt.
So Roger apologizes for not being able to be here for this day. He is online, so hi, Roger. We'll say nice things about you, I promise. When we started this program, our first graduation was 7 years ago. And when you have a graduation, you have a brand new program, your first thought was, I've gone to a lot of graduations and they have awards. What awards are we going to have? And this was the very first award. I didn't tell Roger we were creating it, but this was the very first award that we created. And the reason that we created it, and I joked with the students earlier about you love your teams and hate your teams, is that a creation team is really a unique kind of team. You put together a group of people that think very different. One might think like a designer, one like an engineer, one like a business person, one like a human physiology major, and you ask them to create something different than themselves. And so what happens when you create a team to do that? It's very difficult. Would we all agree on that? Yeah. So when we first put together the teams, I remember, I would go back and report to Roger how the program was doing. And I told Roger, we've had 4 of the teams have blown up. 4 of the teams that they're not doing very well. They don't like each other. We don't think it's going to make it. And he starts laughing. And I'm like, why is that funny? And he said, think about how much more they're learning from the program. So we created this Team Innovation Award that would be given to one of the teams that we saw exemplified Dr. Roger Best. And this year, it is being awarded to Team Atlas. Please join me up here.
Oh boy. Thank you all so much. This is incredible. And to Ellen's point, this was such an incredible team accomplishment where going from East Coast, West Coast, South, everybody coming together and seeing how we're able to leverage different skills from the innovation side to the design side and seeing all of that come together. But in the beginning, figuring out this is hard. We don't communicate the same ways. This is messy. What do we do with that? And so then moving from that and saying, we've got to figure it out. We've got 18 months. Do we say well, this is the way it is. We just do that. Or do we work through it and push through? And so then went through and pushed through with this and then I think have a pretty cool product. And go check it out. It's in the back. There's a super cool pair of shorts with a little foam pocket in there. But yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity and thank you, team.
Hi, everyone. My name is Esteban Dominguez, and it's an honor to be here today representing the Sports Product Management class of 2023. A very diverse group with individuals from different states and from multiple countries around the world, including Germany, England, Belarus, Taiwan, Argentina, Canada, and Colombia. This diversity is what made us unique and allowed us to have a strong base that enhanced our learnings. It didn't take us long to become one big family. We came together to support each other and to celebrate important dates such as Thanksgiving and each other's birthdays. For the international crew, me being part of it, our American friends, made the journey of coming to a new country extremely easy. I remember my 7-hour drive from Vancouver, Canada, driving my U-Haul and having a lot of thoughts about what the next 18 months were going to be like. You all welcomed us and made us feel like at home. Passports and nationalities were set aside, except when we came back from Germany. At the airport, we had to use different lineups. The lineup for internationals took almost 2 hours longer. You all had to wait for us, and instead of giving us a hard time for making you wait, you constantly checked in by texting how we were doing. It has been inspirational to realize, while we all decided to move here to achieve a common goal, to have an impact in the sports and outdoors industry. Throughout this journey, we all had to make sacrifices. I won't forget when I was sitting beside Valerie on our bus on our way to Adidas while we were in Germany, and I asked her how she was doing. She said she was missing her son. And she pulled out her phone and started showing me pictures of him. If it's hard for me every time I have to say bye to my nephew, I can't imagine what it's like being away from your son. Some of us moved from away from home, so we had to be apart from our loved ones. We had to miss memorable moments with our parents, siblings, their partners, and our home friends. Looking back, I can tell you that it was totally worth it because of everything we learned. Let me take you through our academic journey. We started with human performance, learning about VO2 max and D prime. After the first class, I asked myself what I had gotten myself into. We learned about product line management. We learned how to build an insight, how to brand a product, the importance of manually creating prototypes in the lab, designing for the consumer, and the starting Incoterms and the famous FOB. The meaning of sustainability and the Higg index, the different parts of a shoe, and how a heel counter is an internal component. During that class, there was something we heard multiple times. Amantes, I'm dead. We opened our eyes and understood what it takes to do business in Asia and Latin America. We now know about Blue Ocean strategies and the 3 horizons. We had to thank Roach for clapping during those awkward moments of silence. We went out and took pictures for our marketing briefs. We'll never forget to use supply chain as offense. That was Dave's class. And Owen, one day we might go back to your flying blimps. You never know. I know that nostalgia takes you back to a Thursday class where we learn how to price, the effects of inflation and exchange rates, and to that time when we had a long discussion about why I wouldn't buy half a hoodie. Why not? Next time we apply for a job at a publicly traded company, we know we'll have to check the 10K statement. If we have questions, we can call Kate and ask her to check the notes for us. After going through the very unique assignments in our law class, we know what it takes to stay out of trouble. If one of us decides to create a company, we know how much it takes to build it up and the challenges that may come through the seeding rounds. Taking a product to market is way harder than we think. Deciding about going to direct to the consumer or going through a wholesaler is a key decision. During this class, we had one individual from the tour world asking Everly if he could ask a question. Ryan, thanks for teaching us how to think outside the box. We also got to experience what it's like to work in a real company and what it will take us to be successful leaders. We work together in groups because that's what the industry is looking for. Team players that come together to make a difference. Please go back and think about that day when we were assigned to our respective teams. Every team made a great product that's very unique. I sat down and thought about what each team represents. Voda, the NASA team. You represent adaptability. Sometimes you didn't have a full team, but you always came through. Libri, my team, we represent purpose. We made sure that every time we met, that it was for a reason. I'm thankful for everything I learned from each of you. Taka, you represent growth. It's been amazing to see how you grew to become the strong team you are today. Kokoro, jack of all trades. No matter the class, you were always ready to contribute. Fortunato, efficiency. You were always to the point. Atlas, the winners. Functional, your product says it all. Beyond the Pines, diversity. You had a very international team with different individuals, with different individual interests. You had someone that could only think about CrossFit. Travel youth, having fun. We're always waiting for your presentations. We always knew you were gonna make us laugh. So we have fun inside class, but also outside. We'll always have great memories from Germany, Baltimore, and New York. We got to taste the great food and beer that Portland has to offer. We went to Eugene for a football game. We had multiple happy hours. We went to Top Golf and also had a memorable time at the golf simulator. We're not going there today. Tonight, we'll be going back to the rooftop. You should know the access code by now, but just in case, 162. It's time to thank our families and friends that have supported us and that have come from different parts of the world. We also have to thank our instructors, all of you here on stage, and those behind the scenes that made it all happen. Nana, Erica, Travis, Tyler, Francine, Angie, and David. I don't know if David is not here, but he's the GOAT. We also need to thank our mentors and all the people that help us along the way. I know that a lot of us set up times to meet for coffee with people from the industry. Remember that in the not-so-distant future, it'll be our job to pay it forward. Okay, it's been long enough, so I'm gonna close it off. Now is the time to apply everything we learned. We need to stay connected and keep our network growing. We recently added a new member to our family, Daniel's son. We need to support each other, and if you are ever traveling abroad, make sure to reach out to those that can guide you. If you ever go to Colombia or to Canada, you better contact me. To recap our journey, we have a video for you to watch. But before we play it, I want to let you know that I'm extremely proud of this cohort, and I can't wait to see where you will be in 10, 20, 30 years from now. We are the future leaders, and we have what it takes to make a difference. Congratulations.
talk about what the process was like for you guys?
Yeah, I thought the process was pretty, I mean, we were pretty, I'd say respectful, so we had to go back and forth.
I have the pleasure of presenting an award, but before we get into that, I think we all need to give it up again for Esteban. and just want to say thank you for the time and acknowledge the time and effort that you put not only into that, but into each and every one of us. And it's been beautiful. Thank you. Whew. But I have the pleasure of presenting the Nancy and Dave Petrone Entrepreneurship Award. And the sports product industry is powered by innovation. But behind those new ideas and technologies are the people who believed in those. The people who saw the potential that nobody else did and then committed to it. And that's who Nancy and Dave Petrone are. They're the ones who recognized the potential in SPM and helped it make it a reality for all of us. That risk-taking spirit and willingness to adventure into the unknown is what I want to celebrate and recognize today. The recipient of this award is someone who asks, why not? Has a vision for the future and pursues that vision regardless of whether anyone else has shown them the way. This tenacity and dedication to problem solving has benefited both her and her team. For those who are unaware, gloves are notoriously difficult to make, and she made countless prototypes for her team, which she was able to eventually leverage into a job with a local company. And this isn't just a job that she saw on a job posting and then went after. This was work that was brought, and then she exemplified how well she was able to do this, how entrepreneurial she is, to then leverage it into a role where the company saw, we can't do without her. We need her on our team. So I'm honored to present the Nancy and Dave Petrone Entrepreneurship Award to Jess Lim. I'm just excited that I'm able to do something that what had been done to me, where I was just spoke spontaneously. I am so honored to be able to give you that same privilege. Jess.
Yeah, did not expect any of this. But yes, I want to thank the SPM and even my classmates. Gloves are tough. The margins are really small, millimeters of minor errors that you can make. But it's also something that I've learned through you guys. Just like minor errors can make things really big, and so embrace them and enjoy them. So yeah, thank you all, and I appreciate this. I'll keep it short.
Okay, our next award is the Karsten Tyndall Leadership Award. And this is an award that is given to a student that has exemplified leadership. Karsten was a student in this program, and in 2018, he was tragically killed during his internship. And it still touches. His family committed themselves to excellence for our program, and they created a large donation so that we can give a scholarship. They also created a donation. I don't know if you students know this. That's the reason we could go to Bend, is because each year that trip is paid for by the Tyndall family. And so the Tyndall family could not be here today, but they are with us on the screen, and they will present the award.
We could not be there today, but are honored to continue being part of the Sports Product Management family and present the 2023 Karsten Tyndall Leadership Award. His legacy lives on through all of you. Two sides exist in stories and words, two sides that can come together cohesively to represent a deeper meaning. Recognition is just such a word. It represents familiarity from the past, fleeting moments later acknowledged. It also remains in the present, recognition that bends the past to the present and foretells the future. Based on the broad brushstrokes of life, not simple components. Recognition should not be requested, rather preferred by others. Acknowledgement of accomplishments and traits that set someone or something apart from others. Leadership can also be interpreted in the same facet. Leadership is conferred for perseverance in the presence of obstacles, for assurance with ambiguity everywhere, and particularly for integrity as the guidepost, even though meandering opportunities avail. These two sides of leadership make a difference for others, a just noticeable difference, irrespective of the opportunity for recognition. We are here to recognize an outstanding student in the Sports Product Management Program to receive the Karsten Tyndall Leadership Award. Karsten was a strong force, his exceptional traits timelessly recognized as he continues to quietly lead us all. This award represents two sides: recognition of a past leader, KT, and recognition of a present leader, chosen by their peers, who exemplifies those same leadership ideals.
KT was famous for his attributes, some of which also had two sides. Sports and life are the same word spelled differently. Respect and listening are two sides of the same coin. Just let me show you what I can do. It'll surprise us both. The two sides of this celebration are of the program and a person. The program launches careers as you celebrate this day. The person is a student worker with our graduate recruiters who has been described as smart, fun, and friendly to all. He is well known and liked by his cohort. He is the one that naturally pulls everyone together. You can usually find him taking photos and/or videos during the students' adventures. Like all of you, he strived to embark on a journey and become a leader in the sporting goods industry.
The recipient of the Karsten Tyndall Leadership Award for 2023 is Esteban Dominguez. Congratulations.
Well, you already heard from me, but I think I have to thank my parents. They told me how to become a leader. My brothers, their partners, my nephew, for everything. My family back in Colombia, my host family in Canada. And actually, today is an important day for me. It would have been my uncle's birthday today, so I want to dedicate this to him, because I know he would be extremely proud and he would have been here. And to his wife that also supported me throughout this journey. Team Libri, and to all the cohort, thank you. It was an amazing journey. I would do it 1,000 times again. Thank you.
So when you create a program, you get an opportunity to also create awards. And we made a decision to do a new award. And this award, we're calling it the Appreciation Award. And it will be, this is the very first year that we've given it. And it will be given to faculty, staff, or students, because we don't really have an award that does that now. We made a decision to call this the Appreciation Award for a couple different reasons. I think that all of our faculty over here will tell you that you never want to take a phone call from Ellen or accept the, can I buy you a coffee, right? Because that usually will turn into a long career as a professor or as an administrator. And so this first year, this award will go to the namesake of this award. So this award will go to the woman that took coffee with me 8 years ago when we were building this program. And it was just me and a temporary worker trying to stand it up. This will go to the woman who has led this program as our first director for the last 8 years. This will go to the woman that is going to move from our program back to the industry. So ladies and gentlemen, the Appreciation Award is named after Shelley Gourlay, and this year it will go to her. Shelley. make her say something?
Oh, it's a lot easier to start things, guys, than it is to say goodbye. So I'm not going to do that because I planned, as I have told all the students here, I'm still going to be here in Portland. I'm probably still going to be in the industry, and you know you can call me, and I'll call you back, or email you back, or text you back. But it has been my pleasure to work with this program and really to work with the students. To be able to help people realize a dream is everything. The staff in this program, the administrators and our instructors are amazing, and it's made every minute worth it, even that pandemic, which let's just agree to not do again, okay? Thank you very much.
Kept it together. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, SPM faculty, family, friends, and mentors in the audience, and most importantly, the class of 2023. My name is Cass Elmore, for those who don't know me, and it is such a huge honor to be stood here with you all today and to have shared this special journey. So there are a few instances in life where you have the opportunity to be in a room with like-minded, passionate individuals. My only previous encounter of this shared passion and purpose was in a football locker room, or soccer locker room. So it's been so inspiring to experience this in the world of academia and innovation. Passion is the single thing that has unified our cohort over the last 18 months. It's the same flame that brought us across oceans, took us from accounting to product development, or from politics to product innovation. It's given us a second chance and a new beginning. So who fans the flames of our passion? It's through meeting these inspiring people who share their own passions with us. Our professors have been key to this, but they've also introduced us to so many brilliant leaders within all areas of the industry. One of these leaders is with us today, and it's a personal role model of mine. With our roots grounded in competition and team sports, we share a similar background. This is an individual where one of their earliest achievements was being named handball world champion. They translated this success from athletics into their career, first at Nike, where they played a pivotal role in placing the brand #1 in Mexico from 2011 to 2013. They then went on to create the most recalled campaign of the Rio 2016 Olympics, making Nike the most viewed brand on YouTube that summer and earning over 52% of Twitter conversation during the games. And for our Nike Run Club app users in the room, this individual also set the creative vision for Nike Running and rebranded the app we know and love. Aside from being a crucial leader in marketing at Nike for all these years, they spread their wings and their expertise across other pioneering brands. For our swimmers and surfers, these brands include the likes of Hurley or the World Surf League. And for the rest of us, I think we're all familiar with the little old name Airbnb, where she was the head of marketing experiences for their partnership with the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. In the spirit of Olympics and referring back to the question, who fans the flames of our passion, I think it's clear that our keynote speaker has proven that she is definitely one of these individuals. She's ignited many flames across a spectrum of industries. She's a creative storyteller, she is a fearless leader, she's a compassionate mother, and she's a trailblazer for women in the sports product industry. So it's with great honor and a personal privilege that I introduce to you the Chief Marketing Officer of Columbia Sportswear, Pri Shoemate.
How do you guys keep it together? I mean, I'm back there going, like, just trying not to cry. I'm Brazilian, a fellow South American, as you know, and there are tears in me, you guys. When he mentioned you, I was like, oh my God, like, anyway, I'm proud of you for keeping it together, and I'm so honored to be here with you today. First of all, Dean Blonigan, faculty, staff, of course, parents, and graduates of the Sports Product Management class of 2023. Woo! Yes! I have passion, Cass. I have passion. So bear with me, because we got, I don't know, 16, 17, 18 minutes of passion coming. My name is Pri Shoemate. As you've mentioned, I am the parent of 2 amazing boys, the partner of my best friend, an immigrant citizen of this amazing country, and a human in this world. I am also the Chief Marketing Officer of Columbia Sportswear and a proud alumni of brands like Airbnb, Nike, and Hurley, where I held leadership positions, and it was really an honor. I should also mention, even though I am a marketer today, the first 7 years of my career were spent in product creation. So I too understand that product is queen, and that marketing without a great product is just an empty promise. It is an honor to be with you guys today. Founders, faculty, staff, I've met so many of you earlier today. I am a huge fan of this program. I was away for 4 years in California, but now that I'm back, I want to dive in. This is just so much fun. From Roger and Ellen to all the experts from the industry that have made it what it is today, this program is truly one of one. Your vision in creating it and nurturing it through all the things that have happened in the last few years as well is really amazing. And graduates from the 2017 class just became CMOs and VPs this year. And that's just one of the ripples that this program is already creating out there. Now, graduates, you and the people that helped you get here, they were right. You were right. This was worth it. Even the bad parts were worth it. As your classmate Mason Biggers aptly said to me, there are bad parts of books, but they help to tell the whole story. It may not immediately be clear to you yet, but the work you've done here has already set you apart. And I know that you didn't do this work alone. Getting to today was really, really hard. As women's soccer legend Abby Wambach, or football legend Abby Wambach said, every goal I've ever scored belonged to my entire team. When you score, you better start pointing. So we're going to take a minute now to have you guys stand and point some fingers. Point some fingers at the people that helped you get and stay here. Right now. Let's do it. I love the finger pointing. I love the finger pointing. Parents, amazing, amazing job. Thank you for your support on behalf of them and myself. Now, when Ellen invited me to speak, I was incredibly excited and also really nervous about this opportunity. I wanted to be as helpful to you as I could. So I spent the last several weeks doing some qualitative consumer work. I met with a few alumni of the program. I actually have one on my team at Columbia, Nate Trotman, who actually came today with me to support me. Nate is fantastic and thinks differently. I met with some of your classmates too. Kate Gothing, oh my gosh, one of the most determined people I have ever met. In our hour, I was like, oh, this woman. And you can see it today. I was trying to keep it together during your speech as well. She told me about the sacrifices that many of you have made to be here. and the anxiety that some of you have as you exit. Albeit in a very, very different context, I have lived that anxiety too. I left Brazil after 2 years of college to come to the US. None of my credits transferred. Zero, nilch, nothing. So then I did 4.5 years of college at Texas A&M University, gig 'em Aggies. And after 6.5 years, I had 1 undergraduate degree and a massive student loan bill. I basically had 2 choices: immediately get a job or go home 6,731 miles away. But you are so much more prepared than I was in my journey. Steban, the most prepared person, you should have seen me when I asked him to tell me about the program. He had like stuff written down. It was amazing. You told me about the communities that you've built. And starting with your product teams, right? Your creation teams. Voda, Libri, Taka, Kokoro. I've been rehearsing these names. Troubled Youth, Fortunato, Atlas, Beyond the Pine. I love it. And I want to hear from you guys. Let's do a little bit of that. Voda. Libri. Taka. Kokoro. Troubled Youth. Fortunato. Atlas. And Beyond the Pines. All right. Your classmates told me about the budding ventures that you started, like the Black Creative Collective. Mason, Nakai, Lex, Joe, and Zach, and all of you that have supported them. You are building the future as we speak. Take these teams and the people in them with you into the future. They are today, but they will continue to be a lifeline. The time you spent here has truly been transformative. Under the banner of product creation, you have learned really unique skills from the people that have been there and know what it takes to make something successful and meaningful. And you've also met some of the people that with you will shape what successful and meaningful become in the future. This experience has been so great that you may be frustrated as you enter or re-enter the workforce. Because I gotta tell you, not everyone has learned or experienced the same as you. And therein lies your power. Remember that the industries that this degree helps you prepare for have the potential to create a really positive impact in our world. And if that matters to you, it will be your job to make sure that it happens. Whether you create your own brand or you join an existing one, it is you who will push us to do and be better. To be good citizens, to be thoughtful, responsible companies, to create products that matter, services that are useful, and brands that people can believe in, brands that people feel will represent them. As another one of your classmates, Owen McCarthy, told me, your class is ready to renegotiate assumptions and deliver way more than incremental progress. I want you to own that power. Own that power. As my mom would say, chest out, chin high, stand tall. You are unique. You are well positioned. I'm absolutely in awe of those of you that I have already met. Product creation was just a canvas to teach you leadership, so know that what you've learned here, you can apply well beyond this industry. So what follows are 3 life lessons that I've learned along the way that I wanted to share with you today, in hopes that it helps you as you embark upon this next phase of your journey. The first one is to define your purpose. And I can see that so many of you are so advanced in that journey already. I mean, I feel like I'm like preaching to the choir here. Now, I myself couldn't have articulated this early on in my career, but once I had enough years under my belt that I could kind of look back, I started to think of my work as a way to push people to do something that they had never done before. As a child of the Just Do It generation, I did things that I had never done before because a brand inspired me. I have a picture of me in front of the Nike Town in Miami when I was 14 years old. My mom gave me that picture when I became a VP at Nike. That photo represented my American dream, which I was now living, which I'm living today, right now. Of course, Just Do It was just one part of my motivation, and inspiration often goes unanswered, but once I realized the work, the power that my work could have for even the smallest number of people, it became so much more meaningful. Encouraging and helping people, including myself, to push through their perceived limitations became my mission in life. And along the way, I had the privilege to be a part of companies that shared that value with me, and people that share that value with me through product, through communications, and through participation in an active lifestyle, including travel, including the outdoors. What gets me up in the morning is really helping people to do something that they haven't done before, be it trying something new or improving in something that they already do. Right now, I'm actually doing something I've never done before. A personal career purpose keeps you focused, and it helps you to define your range, which is likely broader than just one industry or one side of the industry. If your goal is to help young women have access to soccer, Cass, football, then you can work at Nike or Adidas for sure, but you can also work at Chelsea Women, you can work at Girls United. By the way, Cass is one of the people that seems to have defined her purpose, and I absolutely know that you're going to create incredible impact. So, before you go too far, and this may take a little while like it did with me, and it might change as your circumstances change too, but take the time to think critically about what it is that you want out of your career, and make sure that it aligns with what's important to you. Recently, I saw an Instagram post, Instagram wisdom, that said, we have two lives. The second one begins when we realize we only have one. Identifying your career purpose will help you to identify the right opportunities. It will help you be patient when you need to be. It'll help you push through when you need to push through, and it'll help you exit when you need to exit. And you might have to do some of those too. Given the One Life Instagram post, it's also likely to make you happier. Now, the second lesson I learned, and the other ones are shorter, don't worry, is the importance of doing the deep work. Now, when you set out to create a new product, you need to understand who you're serving and why that product should exist. You all know that. In this program, you learned how to understand people and identify a problem better than most. In fact, from what I heard, you've learned how to do the really, really deep work, the work of deeply understanding the athlete, the consumer, the problem, the work of gathering real insights about the people and the markets that you will serve, taking the time to seek the truths, the nuances, the quantitative and the qualitative, the behavior and the emotion, and then connecting the dots between that knowledge and your vision. That's the deep work that makes the real difference. Ultimately, and this was mentioned here today already, I'm so excited, working at this depth creates empathy. It helps you become fluent in your craft. It connects you to the people that you serve. And in my experience, the best leaders are empathetic leaders. While I never had a chance to meet Nike co-founder Bill Bowerman, I knew that he knew runners like no one else. One of my favorite Bill Bowerman quotes about running was this: "The real purpose of running isn't to win a race. It's to test the limits of the human heart." That insight shaped the way that Nike created for and communicated with runners. In my role as VP of Brand at Nike, starting in 2018, I, like others before me, followed Bill's lead to understand what the limits of the human heart actually were and how they might be evolving. Some were physical, some were emotional. That worked, shaped how my team and I did our jobs and communicated with consumers. Following up on insights like this, in my opinion, is what's made Nike one of the most consequential brands of its time. Empathetic leaders like Bill Bowerman got to the bottom of what mattered most. Empathetic leaders turn stones, and in the process, they find the things that others can't. In my career, the deep work helped me bridge the gaps between product creation and brand marketing, then sports to tech, then tech back to outdoor. For those of you, and me certainly, into the show Ted Lasso, anyone? Just launched again, March 15th. The deep work is what allows Ted and Coach Beard to coach Richmond FC. So do the deep work. Obsess the who and the why. Do it even if you're not being asked to. The people that are not asking may never have learned it. And because you learned it, you are now accountable for passing it forward. The third and last learning that I want to share with you is this. This is an easy one, really. Ask for what you want. And then be prepared to say yes. At Nike, I wanted to be a brand director in a territory. US markets were really influential and sexy, and they got all the resources. And so, on it, obviously, I asked for a marketing director role in a US city. Instead, I got Mexico. Underfunded, maybe a couple people had passed on the job by then. Definitely not as flashy or impactful, but I got the entire country. And the brand was much less developed there. The challenges were different, and I could not have asked for a greater life and work experience. Plus, moving there with my family completely changed our lives. After that, I asked to lead the marketing for the 2016 Rio Olympics. I actually got the Olympics job, and what an honor that was. I actually spoke during that project in this room. As a perk, we got tickets to the opening ceremonies of the Olympics, and I took my mom. Together, we sat there side by side, and we got to witness Brazil welcome athletes from all over to the world's greatest sports stage. In a little bit of a way, it felt like winning the Oscar and having your mom in the audience. Later on, since I loved action sports, I asked for Nike skateboarding. Instead, I got Hurley, the surf brand. I had some connections with surfing in my family, coming from Brazil, and so I was like, yeah, sure. That role took my family and I to California for the first time, which again, changed our lives completely. I asked for ACG as well, Nike's outdoor brand. I never got that, but now I have Columbia Sportswear, which is becoming my outdoor dream come true. I asked for many roles of that I've had in life, and I was always happy to take the ball when it mattered most, even if it wasn't the greatest thing. Sometimes I was the second choice. And then I got in there and I was like, let me show you, let's go. So there's really two lessons in one here, right? Ask, and then be ready to say yes if what you get isn't quite what you were hoping for. Some of the most amazing opportunities you'll get in life may not be exactly the ones that you've asked for. And of course, asking, while I said it's easy, it takes preparation. It takes courage. and also optimism. Asking is a reflection of hope, and hope is what I want to leave you with today. I come from Brazil, a country that moves on hope. You know this, despite its really often challenging circumstances. In Brazil, hope is not a wish. It's an action verb. It's survival. As I've traveled around the world, sometimes I think that more developed countries see hope as a bit of a soft feeling of sorts. In my opinion, it's anything but. I think of hope as I think about visualization in sports, which is something that, as you guys know, athletes do with great success. It's about visualizing what you want and then filling it in with intention and action. Hope will be important as you dive into this next phase of your life, because things are going to get hard. They're going to get really hard. There's a great book by Mark Ranson called Everything is Fucked. Pardon my French. In his book, Mark breaks down hope in 3 elements. The first one is the belief in the value of something. Essentially, the feeling that your work is worth striving for, which we talked about today. The second one is community. You guys know that so well. I could see your faces. Whether or not you have the people that share your values, and so that you're not striving alone. We touched on that, and you guys are living it. The last component is control, or simply the feeling of actually having the ability to affect your fate, which starts with the power of asking and dialoguing. You guys have that power. So practice hoping. I want you to keep your hope gauge in check. If it gets too close to empty, take your learnings, take your money, and run. Now, don't ever run from. Run to a place where you can hope and your purpose shines brighter. Now, before I exit stage left or back, I have one last thing to do. Everyone says that you have to end a commencement speech with a quote from a famous person. Well, my person isn't famous, but her quote has made a tremendous impact in my life. Julie Resnick, a dear friend of mine, was our expat consultant when we were transitioning to Mexico. In one of our transition to a new country sessions, Julie asked me, "Do you know who the first person you'll meet is when you move to Mexico?" I was curious. I was like, does she know something that I don't know? So I asked her a really inquisitive, "Who?" She paused for a while, and then she said, "Yourself." Every transition is a chance to further shape yourself in the way that you want to. As you walk out of here today, you will be the first person that you meet. Love that person. Respect that person. And remember, live with purpose. Do the deep work. Ask for what you want and hope for the best. Thank you so much.
I hope you know what's next. What's next? Monte, you ready? Are you all ready? I know you have to use the restroom, so let's get this party started. Let's get the next chapter going. So students, you've rehearsed this. Let's do it. Valeria Artemev. Alexis Nichelle Baxter. Mason Biggers. Nakai Booker. My Tide, Lamar Boyd. Ryan Broida, let's do this. Lincoln Bussieri, let's do it. Aaron Chen. Steve Conrad. Aniele, yes, Espinosa. Esteban Dominguez. Kes Elmore. Kate Gothing. Will Green. Kiana Hahn. Parker Helm. Kevin Joshi. Gen Kaneko. Mark Kelly. Katie Lawton. Johnson Lee. Jessica Lim. Zachary Mays. Owen McCarthy. Jeffrey Mallinson. Amante Nash. Jesse Otto. Yuswan Pan. Gabriel Parrish. Carlos Perez. Nick Roach. Alexandra Rondlet. Nicholas Scherer. Thomas Schlarp. Brian Sheeran. Tommy Schisler. Joe Stanton. Juan Manuel Venezuela Linesh. Danielle Vatka. Lillian Wang. Alec Westbrook. Tucker White. Andrew Williams.
I'll end this where I started at this. Wow. We've had 7 classes graduate from the face-to-face program, 2 for the online. And you guys are very, very special. Thank you for your commitment to excellence. Thank you for making us better. Thank you for your commitment to make this industry more global, more sustainable, more innovative, more diverse, more caring, more empathetic. You started as a class of 43, and now, because of Danielle, you're a class of 44. The very first time that we've had a baby born I don't think Roger and I ever imagined that when we were creating this. So we're inviting everyone back for a reception afterwards. The graduates, please rise. Please turn towards the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming, for the first time, the graduating class of the Masters of Science in Sports Product Management class of 2023.
There is champagne